Hello and welcome everybody. This is a very exciting moment in war media history, okay? Today, we're gonna bring you the very first ever war media interview, okay? Who are we gonna interview today? Today we got BTB. You know who that is? That's Brad Taylor Briggs, okay? He's a signed artist to War Media, owned by your boy, Saint T. You already know what's going down. My name's TooFaced. I'm your host. But before we get into the interview, we got a few little things to go over, okay? If you're watching this on YouTube, guess what? This YouTube, if you're watching on Instagram too, all this shit is run by interactions, right? Interactions. So if you fuck with this, if you fuck with us, if you see the vision, if you see the movement, I know you see it. There's no way you can't see this. We're moving fast, we're moving hard. You can't stop it. But what you gotta do, go ahead, hit that subscribe button now, because guaranteed you do not want to miss any of this shit. We're about to get wild in here. It's about to get lit. You're about to learn about all the artists you already know and love. You're going to learn a little bit more about them. You're going to see their personalities. You're going to see who they are past the music, right? Because that's important. We need to know who these people are as people in order to fully respect them, you know, give them our love and all of that type of thing. So here we go. Let's jump into it. I'm about to get BTB on the phone lines and we're going to bring it to you. Stay tuned. What the fuck is good, everybody? You already know what's popping. I told you we were getting Brad Taylor Briggs on the phone. BTB, here he is. All right, let's get it. So first and first, who are you? Who is BTB? What are you trying to do here? Give us a little backstory.
Okay, so me as an artist, wow. So my journey kind of started maybe 2 years ago. I started out making music with Saint T. Sorry, he got me into it. And to be honest, BTB is, you know, it's obviously my initials, Brad Taylor Briggs. And yeah, that's just kind of pretty simple, you know, just keep it simple, like to keep it simple. But the music I make is different from Saint T's. So I make a lot of melodic rap, singing kind of thing. And I just like to express like my emotions through my music.
Okay, so like,
you know, so other people can relate to it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So when you sit down, you get the beat, whatever you're gonna use. Like, what is the first thing you gravitate towards when you say like you use your emotions? Like, does the song like determine what you're feeling at that moment, or is it like something that happened to you in the past you're bringing up again?
It can be anything. So like, usually it's like what I'm thinking in that moment, or what I'm feeling, or you know, it could be something that's happened recently, or like, you know, just recently, or it can be a general thing. So people obviously go through stuff, and I may not have been through that myself, but I'd like to make songs about that kind of thing so people can relate to it.
Right.
Also, yeah, things in the past, like long way in the past, I will, you know, make songs about that too. But mostly, it's just stuff I'm feeling in that like exact moment.
Right. And I see your most latest song was the fuck Omicron.
Pass me the Baileys and pass me the snow. I'm Boris Johnson, I'm staying at home. No, I'm just kidding, we party with Coke. No Coca-Cola, we party.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I see what you're saying. That was with Snowy Joe. So like when you say like you try to bring things up people can relate to and the emotions, like that is fucking huge. You know, like that's something that a lot of people are fucking pissed off about. They're like, fuck this shit. So here you go, you come out, you make the song, you say fuck Omicron, you know, like, you know, all these things that people have been thinking themselves for a long time, you're gonna come out and say it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So as an artist, you know, you said you've been doing this for a few years. Like at this point right now, what would you say like is your biggest accomplishment? Like what are you most proud of as an artist coming out on the scene?
To be honest, I'm just proud to have been doing it like with people that I'm close to. So I say my biggest accomplishment, is that fuck Omicron song. But I think for me, I'm more proud of just being like with like the people that I love making music with, and I've had the opportunity to make music with people that I've become really close to, and I feel like that's the main thing. You're supposed to enjoy it. Like, you're supposed to have fun with music. Music should never be just a job. Like, it's something that you should love doing. If you're making music, it's something that you should love and should come from your heart. Do you know what I mean?
Right, for sure. And in music, again, it's like something that like binds people together. Like, I know from my experience, like I've made more friends through my music than I have in my real fucking life, you know, because like it's easier, like you say, with your emotions to convey yourself through the music and through the words and all that type of thing. And that's where you find, you know, the people that really align with you and all that type of thing.
Definitely.
So that being said, everybody in the music scene, you know, they all got their pros, their cons, you know, their strengths and their weaknesses. I want you to tell me your biggest weakness, okay? And how does that help you?
So I'm not sure, like, myself, like, what my biggest weakness is, but I like to ask other people what my weaknesses are. I like to find out what other people think I can do better, so then I can implement that into my own music, because I feel like it's harder to see it yourself. It's good when you can see it yourself, but it's harder to see it yourself. It's harder to notice them little flaws in your music, which other people can pick out. And I feel like I like to take criticism from other people. I don't want people just gassing me up, being like, oh yeah, your stuff's so good, it's amazing. And I don't want people saying, oh, your stuff's so bad, and then not give me a reason. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, it's got to be in between. I want the constructive criticism, and that way I can improve and know what I'm doing good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something too, like a lot of artists don't have that aspect in themselves, and they're not really prepared to have people tell them what's wrong. And then what happens is they come out with this thing they think is amazing, and then people start pointing out these flaws, which everybody knows everybody has flaws, right? So then they get hit with these flaws, and then they shut down, they stop making music, or they fucking take it personal. And this is something, you know, music is subjective. Nobody can take this shit personal. So the fact that you can, like, you know, go out of your way, say, hey, what is wrong with this, you know, and then apply it to your new thing, that's like that's a good indicator of strong character, you know what I'm saying?
It's the only way you can improve, really. Obviously, if you notice it yourself, then that's obviously good, because you can improve it yourself. You don't need anybody else to tell you. But I feel like if you've got somebody there guiding you, or multiple people there guiding you, I feel like it doesn't really matter, because that will push you up to like the next level. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So what's like the biggest, like, or like the worst thing anyone's ever said to you about your music?
I'm trying to think. It's hard to think, like, on the spot of what people have said. Like, I've had multiple people say bad stuff about it. Nobody's like told me to quit or anything like that, but people have like just been like, this is so shit. And I'm like, okay, tell me why. And they're like, it's just shit. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not really a reason. Like, you need to give me something, like a way to improve. And they're like, nah, it's shit. I'm like, that's not, it's just not constructive. Like, you're just hating at that point.
And I've noticed too, like 99.999% of these people that have these strong opinions about like what's good and what's bad, they've never been in the space, you know, like it's a lot easier to sit back and criticize than it is to get in the studio and actually put some work in, which is something in itself, you know, like a lot of people don't even understand. That's why, like, when I hear criticism, you know, one dude once told me, I had a music video out, it got like 200 something views, which is pretty fucking shit if you ask anybody. But the top comment, and I pinned it, it was like, oh, you fucking sat there and listened to this 250 times yourself, you're fucking going nowhere, blah, blah, blah. So I just replied to him and I was like, yo, you're totally right. You know what? I quit. From here on out, it's over. Thank you so much. You know, like, have a nice fucking day.
Yeah, of course. That's the only way to respond to hate. Just, you know, being nice to them. Because I would just rile them up even more.
Yeah, and it's like, if you aren't failing, you literally aren't even trying. You know, like...
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. It's hard for artists as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's fucking... This is a dog-eat-dog world. You know, there's no one here to hold your hand, to tell you what to do, to tell you to wake up in the morning and work. You know, it's just something that, like...
You got to do it yourself.
You got it in you, and you got to do it. And you gotta,
yeah,
so it's like... It really amazes me how many people are out there just shitting on people, because I guarantee they got nothing going on.
It's usually the people that are the most insecure about themselves as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they get like that small satisfaction. Even if that's the case, even if I give you a small amount of satisfaction from you shitting on me, whatever, I've done my job. I made you feel a little better because I can take it. You know, you can take it. These artists that are actually going to make it, they can take it.
100%.
So on the contrary, what's something, someone brought to your attention that maybe you didn't expect, made you feel really good? Like, damn, like, thank you so much. Like, that shit makes me feel good. Makes me want to keep going.
So, I think it was about a month ago. No, when like all the things came out for Spotify for artists, like all the numbers and that. I just remember one of my like the people that I speak to, like in like the close circle I've got, he really likes my music a lot and relates with it a lot, like himself. And big shout out to One Z, by the way, he's a legend. But he's played he's played my music like 2,500 and something times, like on Spotify, and it's just ridiculous.
Damn.
Like how he's played it that many times, and that's just since I've been releasing music, and I've only really been releasing since like late 2020, so not really like that long. So it's quite a lot of streams in a short amount of time.
Right.
Then and like when I saw that, I was just like just couldn't stop smiling. Like just the smile on my face was like ridiculous.
Right, and if you
it was
can
just
get like, if you can get one person to listen that many times, then you can get 2 people, you can get 3 people, you can get 4 people. And a lot of these people who listen too, they don't realize like you don't have to be ultra famous in order to make a lot of money, right? Like imagine if you had 1,000 fans and you got each of them to give you $100 over the course of a whole year. That's a lot of fucking money. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard about this before, yeah.
And it's like just that little piece of aspect is something to me that's like, you know what, anybody can really do this shit. Anyone can do it. Like we're just fucking sitting here. We fucking culminated this as a group, like me, you, Saint T, all these people, we all got together and said, you know what, fuck everybody, fuck the industry. We're going to do this ourselves. And it's totally like, we can totally do it. Here we are. We're doing it, right? I mean, and anybody that sees this shit, they're going to see it like, like we're some big fucking professional thing, which we are, by the way. But that's besides the point,
Yeah, definitely.
So do you record your music like in a professional studio session? Do you record it in your bedroom, or like what's your style for recording?
I sit in this exact spot and record my music. And that's what I love about it. Do you know what I mean? Like from your home, I just feel like it's more personal, and I feel like you can get the right, like in the mindset for it. I feel like in a studio environment, I've actually never been to a studio, but I feel like in a studio environment, I feel like you couldn't like really like zone in as much as you do when you're just in the comfort of your own home.
Right.
I just love recording music, obviously, but mostly at home. And if I did ever get the opportunity to do it in a studio, I think I would do it with like a bunch of like friends, like group of friends, and it wouldn't be more like emotional stuff. It would be more like upbeat stuff. And I do some upbeat stuff, but I feel like in a studio environment, I feel like that's like the vibe that kind of comes from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, as you progress, your skills in your own home studio will get better, so you probably will never have the necessity to go to a professional studio, the day you blow up, the day you get fucking ultra famous, whatever. But at that same token, you're going to have more money then. You might want to go to a professional studio, and who knows, your thoughts on that might change. You might feel like, I made it this far doing this, I'm going to step my game up. Or you could just say, fuck it, I'm going to keep doing this because this is what I've been doing, this is what works.
Yeah, somebody I look up to a lot is Russ in America, because obviously there's a UK Russ. I don't want people to get confused.
Yeah.
Russ in America, he just does all of his stuff like on his own, and I just really like aspire to be like that, because he literally just does it from the comfort of his own home, and he's done that since he's been making music. So I saw something about him. It was like he was releasing albums and albums and albums, but really it wasn't like getting many views. And he kind of realized, he was like, to be honest, after all these projects that I'm doing, I might as well just release singles, because that is what's, getting big. So he literally was just releasing songs day by day or week by week. I can't remember the exact, logistics, but he was doing that, and eventually grew and grew and grew, and he is where he is today. And I kind of aspire to be like that, because I've got an album in the works at the moment, and it is a project that I'm doing just purely for satisfaction, just to get my stuff out there, just to say like, look, this is me, this is what I can do. And after that, singles and singles and singles. I'm just going to focus on singles because I feel like albums don't really get the attention they deserve in this day
It's
and age.
true. And it's a lot easier to market a single than to market a whole album, because, you know, when you have a whole album, you're taking the listener through a roller coaster of emotions. You know, like each song isn't going to have the same emotions, so you can't push an entire album to one demographic, you know what I'm saying? And something else, speaking about Russ, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen this interview, and he was saying the fact that he had done it for so long before he blew up, once people started noticing who he was, it was like, oh, it's not like he just dropped money on an album and now he's got an album for people to listen to. It was now they know who he is. He's got 100 songs for them to listen to. He's got 200 songs so they can listen to, and they can sit there all day long and listen to his shit. And it's like, it's that much more proof that he is capable of having longevity and being able to do this for a long time.
Exactly. And then it just means that anybody else can do that. If you put your mind to it, you put the right kind of like marketing and anything else into it, it goes to show that anybody can do that kind of thing. Even like with somebody like 6ix9ine, do you know what I mean? Like
Me and 6ix9ine
with the right
go way
marketing. Homies from back in the day.
Fucking homie, dude. So what do you think about 6ix9ine and like his type of scene? You know, like he fucking went to jail, he got out of jail, he's very controversial. What's your opinion?
I'll tell you what, I think he's a very smart guy. Like under all the tattoos and the rainbow hair and all the, you know, clothes, like, and just the whole like thing like that he puts on the persona, I feel like he's a really smart guy, because at the end of the day, he's making money. And although he talks big, talks a lot, but it doesn't really matter because he's literally making money and that's all he cares about. And I feel like
I agree 100,000%. You know, like all this shit that he does, it's a facade. You know, like it's his marketing scheme, and it's fucking super smart. You know, like I don't give a fuck who you are, what you did. If you're successful, you can't deny it. You are fucking successful, and however you got there is up to you. You know, like,
you know, the numbers are there to show that he's successful.
Numbers never fucking lie.
No, numbers don't lie. Stats don't lie. And the facts, what was it? He got like 42 million views overnight when he released that Goober song.
Yep.
Like, that is ridiculous. It just like, it goes to show anyone can do it. If you're doing music, you're doing something you love, and you're trying to make something from it, and people can see that, you will do it.
That's a fact. That's a big fact. So, at the progress rate you have been doing, where do you see yourself in like 5 years, 10 years? Do you think, or I should say this, how long do you think it will take you personally to get yourself in a position to be making major moves?
I think, so right now I'm making like fairly good moves in my career. Like there's, I'm not sure if I can talk about one of them, but one of them, so I'm quite close with a YouTube group called The Dropouts. So one of the guys, Snowy Joe, I made a song with, fuck Omicron. I'm also very close with Manta. He's a guy from The Dropouts. Big shout out to him. He's the legend. Love Manta. I speak to him all the time. He's, you know, he's got quite a lot of followers. I'm friends with him. That's obviously not the reason I'm friends with him. It's just, I just met him through St. T, and we just got talking, got along, started making music together. And I feel like, because I've had a song out with him recently on his like new project, that was good. And hopefully I can progress and, you know, make connections with more people in maybe the coming years. I don't know, obviously, how quick that will develop, but I feel like, because right now I'm actually still in college and I'm working and I'm doing a job and I'm trying to fit music in. I'm trying to cram it all in, and it's quite hard to do that. But after college, which is this year, I finished college in about May. I think I can focus a lot more on music, singles, trying to do music videos and things, and just being consistent with it. And I feel like the more consistent I am, the more I'll grow and find new connections. And do you know what I mean? Like, it just happens. But yeah.
So you're saying you're working a job, you're going to college, and you're doing music. You're trying to balance it all out. Is there ever a time where you feel like, you know, I can't balance it all, or where you're like, you know, I got to take more of one thing than the other? How does it affect your creative process?
So I don't, not necessarily my creative process that like gets changed. It's more like I just get frustrated. I get really angry. Like if I can't make music, like anything else, I'm not. I don't really care. I love my job. My job is good. It's just college. I just don't really care about college. And I feel like when that gets in the way, I get really frustrated. Um, it's just difficult to fit it in sometimes, and then I get periods where I can record and can't record, and it's like very stop and start, and I get quite frustrated. But as long as I can make like 3 songs a week, I'm happy.
Right. So if you don't mind me asking, what are you in college for, and what is your day job?
So I work in a cafe, just in my local area. Literally just in a kitchen, just pot wash, like kitchen assistant, just washing things. Like it's pretty simple. Like it's
I
not
feel you, dude.
difficult.
My first job, I was a dishwasher. That's shit is
Yeah,
rough.
and but it's I quite enjoy it because I love the people that work with, and I love like my managers there. Everyone's lovely there. Like it's all like blessed. You know what I mean? But at college, so I do engineering. I don't have an interest in engineering. I have an interest only in music. I just want the qualification, and then I'm gonna dip. But yeah, I don't know.
And the
I'm
sad
being
thing
pushed.
is, go ahead.
I'm being pushed by my family to get an apprenticeship after college, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be depressed living a 9 to 5 job. I want
Right.
to do music. That's what I want.
And I mean, in the end, to be fair, it is very difficult to make it in the music industry, but we've already covered anyone can do it, period. But
Exactly.
that being said, once you break that wall, you will make so much more money being in the music industry than you ever will being a fucking engineer.
Exactly. So I see a lot of people like I went to school with and stuff, moving into houses and growing up, earning money at like our age, the same age. And I see it, but I think, well, I'd rather just live through being a little bit more poor, like for like a few more years, and then be all the way up there in like
Right.
God knows how many years. But you
Right.
know
And
what I
how old are
mean?
you right now?
I've just turned 19.
Just turned that. Happy fucking birthday.
Well, it's not my birthday today. But yeah, I mean,
So-
it was recently.
So I totally know what you're saying. Like, I'm 23, right?
Mhm.
So me growing up, like people who are my age, people who I went to school with, they're fucking married. They have houses. A lot of them have kids, and they're
Yeah.
already in what like the rat race. They're locked in. They're not doing anything past whatever the fuck they're
They're
doing
just-
now, and it's kind of sad. And I often feel
Flat
sad,
line.
like I am not that, but at the same time, what is your life if you're not taking these risks? Like how many people actually go out on a limb and take the sacrifices to say, you know what, I'm gonna do my best to do this. Not a lot of people do.
Exactly. No, do you know what? I watched a podcast today. It was the Impulsive podcast. It was Logan Paul, KSI was on there, and I watched it, and they were talking about how like whether they trade their like famous lives for like a 9 to 5 job, and they were like they wasn't sure like whether they would because their creative mind is like always ticking and like thinking of new things and like trying to take risks and do all that kind of stuff, and they always find that fun, but they don't know whether they'd like rather trade it for like a blissful ignorance of like that risk and all that life. They don't really, so they wouldn't like think about it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know
I
how
mean,
to explain it properly.
I saw, the comedian Seinfeld.
I'm not familiar, but
So he's an American comedian. He does like he's an actor and all this stuff. But I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
he had an interview with Barack Obama,
okay.
and basically Obama took him out to like a brunch in like the public, and Obama said to him, he was like, "Do you ever just get like tired of being so famous, or would you ever trade it, for like a normal life?" And he goes, "Fuck that." he goes, being famous hands down 300 million times better than being your average Joe Schmo,
100%. So some people they really can't hack it, and obviously I don't even know what it's like. I don't think neither of us know what it's like, but
Fuck no.
I'd rather that than a boring life.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like the people I say are married and have kids now, if I were to ask them, like, what are you proud of? That's what they're proud of. Getting married, having kids, living in a house. That is like the basic essentials of life. How can you be proud of just barely surviving?
Living.
You know, like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm still breathing. I woke up this morning. I'm feeling
My heart's
good.
beating. It's
You know, like that,
fine.
to me, that's pathetic. If you're
I
not
agree.
like shooting for the fucking moon, like why even fucking be here? You know, like
Yeah, some people just prefer to be simple, live a simple life. Some
yeah.
people like to be behind the scenes and then work their way up. Some people don't like the limelight.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you know that pretty well.
Exactly. But it's just like, it's also like some people they just want to flatline. They want to get to a certain point and then just flatline,
Yeah.
do nothing.
I mean, and to be fair, not that I should really be bringing this up. Maybe he's gonna fucking yank this shit out of the cut. But like, for example, you know, we'd like to speak the truth here, right? Like Saint T, he is someone he shot for the moon. He did fucking amazing things. He got crazy numbers, and he says, you know what? I want to step back. I want to be in the background. That's not someone who's settling. That's not somebody who's being an average Joe Schmo. He's still fueling people like you, people like me, and that's he's still reaching greatness through his craft. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I'll tell you what, he wouldn't be mad about you saying that. That is exactly what is going through his head. I feel like if he was actually in that limelight, I think he'd probably go a bit crazy. I mean, a lot of people would. It's normal.
Right. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and some people just don't like that pressure. And I feel like he's made the mature decision to step back and be behind the scenes, and he actually suits that role a lot better than when he was, out there in the limelight, in my opinion, because he knows how it all works. He just, he'd rather guide others to do it rather than himself.
Right, and a lot of people, me included, you know, everyone on the label. Like I said before, there's nobody to hold your hand and tell you how to do things. When you have somebody like Saint T on your team and he's done it, and he can say, this is what we got to get moving, it makes it that much easier for people like me and you. And that's why, like obviously me and you were on the label, but like we have an advantage over other people who don't have somebody like him.
Exactly. Everyone needs a Saint T in their life.
That's right. Shouts out to all the Saint T's in the world. But we got the one and only. We got the real one.
We got the real one. We haven't got the wish
so
Saint
fuck
T.
out of here with all your fake ass Saint T bullshit. All right?
Your wish Saint T's.
So like, what's next for you? What's coming up? Like, what should we be expecting? Should we be looking at your social? Should we be looking at your YouTube or your Spotify? What's coming up for you?
So, I want to get a single out soon. It's called Me and You. It's actually, the remix is going to be out before the actual song. But, so it's on Saint T's album, but it's my song. But I thought I'd let Saint T have the remix. And basically, it's called Me and You. It's one of the songs that I've made like a month ago, and I'm just really proud of it. I wanted to get it out. And yeah, you should be seeing that soon, hopefully within the next few weeks, months. I'm not sure. Probably like a month, maybe. And then after that, I want to get a music video out on YouTube, which is mostly recorded. It's nearly done. And once that's out, I can get my project out that is for personal satisfaction. And once that's out, singles.
But
I think maybe looking at the place to look at next is probably War Media.
Good.
Because that's where I'll be out. And obviously my Spotify.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you say you got this music video coming out, is that something you shoot yourself? You hire somebody out to help you do that? How does that work?
I've literally done it all on my own, obviously with Saint T's help, other people like friends, and just, obviously it's not, as professional. I want to get a professional edit done for it, but I don't necessarily mind about the camera quality or anything like that. That's not really bothering me at the moment, but it's definitely, something I'm really proud of so far. So yeah.
Right. So it sounds, like, I know you got a good team. All these other people, they're about to find out, right? Like, you got this good ass team behind you. You get all these people you're working with, right? So how important to you is the team? Like if you didn't have your team, where would you be?
Oh, well, yeah, I probably wouldn't have made the music video. I would have made the song and then just sat on it. But, I've got people around me, motivating me to do it. I literally, one of my friends, big shout out to Ruben Brown. He also makes music. He's got a project coming out soon with Saint T. He was like, right, let's do it. Let's just get it done. Let's do it. And like he was kept pushing it like the day, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe. I kept like procrastinating it, and then he was like, no, just do it. And then I was like, cool, I'll do a day. So on my birthday, we recorded some of the music video. I'd recorded some back in November, but recorded some on my birthday, and yeah, I'm gonna get the final scene done soon. And it'll be good, but I'm glad that I've been really putting it off for a while.
Right. That's something too. Like when I see a lot of artists, they'll make something and they'll hold on to it for a long time. Like you say, you waited a month. That's not that long, but like a lot of times people will make something and then before they drop that, they'll make something else, and then they'll feel like that last one is a little less significant because they've now progressed, they've gotten a little better. So I'm always telling artists, like, if you're gonna be making something and making something else again soon, get that shit out, because like at this stage,
Exactly.
nobody's gonna be looking back this far, once we're in the future and saying that was a piece of garbage, like.
It's a now or never kind of thing, really.
Right.
I feel like if you don't do it, like, as soon as possible, ASAP, you'll just never do it. Like, it'll just never get done. I feel like you do need those people around you to help you, support you, motivate you, because you can't always do it alone. Like, obviously you can be an independent artist, but you always have a team around you. You always have people around you motivating you, pointing you in the right directions. Because obviously, not everybody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, actually, for that matter. And nobody can direct their own lives perfectly and correct 100% of the time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we just hit the half an hour mark here. I'm not trying to have this too long, what I'm saying? We got to keep the attention span here going. So I'm going to give you a chance. We're going to have you shout out your socials. We're going to have you just give another little sum up of who you are, what's good, and what we can expect, and we're going to wrap it up here.
Okay, nice. So my Instagram, Brad Taylor Briggs. Shouldn't be too hard. Literally just Brad Taylor Briggs. That's how you spell it. Yeah, and then my Spotify, BTB, Apple Music, same, BTB obviously. I'm not very active on Twitter, so probably won't give out the Twitter. But yeah, all of that I feel like is enough, and I'm BTB, and this is TooFaced.
Good shit.
And we smashed it.
Good shit. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
We fucking killed it.
100%.
And stay tuned, folks. We got many more fucking interviews on the way. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss any of the bullshit fuckery we got going on, because we're about to blow your fucking minds, all right? So stay tuned. Catch it again. Thanks for sticking with us, folks.